All right. Well, quick editor's note. We recorded this episode on Friday morning and we finished recording, literally shut everything down, put away all the streaming rig and everything. And then all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up. And that's when Stern released the Foo Fighters announcement trailer. So Tom and Travis and I were like, what can we do? And I'm like, I got to go pick up my kids. Do we record something real quick? And then, so we thought about recording something to add on. And then the very next day, American Pinball comes out with their little Galactic Tank Force kind of trailer little thing. And it doesn't say Galactic Tank Force anywhere except for the very bottom of the screen. And so we're just like, I don't know. So we thought about recording, our a little bit more to add to it. But then we realized Tuesday is when the actual reveal is going to come out. So that'll even be outdated. So long story short, when we recorded this, we didn't know officially about Foo Fighters. We didn't know officially about Galactic Tank Force. So, good timing. But hey, it was still a fun episode. Still a lot of speculating. So enjoy it. And we will definitely share more thoughts on it once the official reveals come out. So, all right, enjoy the episode.
The Pinball Network is online. Launching
Drain Pinball Podcast.
All right, Tom, are you ready?
Yes, but does anybody have $5 I could borrow?
What? What? Why do you need $5?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Travis, are you ready?
Tom,
Yes.
I don't have $5, but have you ever wondered why we don't get to start the intros to this podcast?
I kind of wondered that.
I know.
Well, Tom gets
We just
the
asked
outro.
Joel a second ago. We were like, Joel, why can't we do the intro? And he just ignored it and just started it.
Hey, Travis,
Man,
if you want to edit the podcast, you're welcome to start the intro.
Wasn't Joel like, this is my show, damn it.
That's
and I'll
not,
do what I
that's not
want.
it at all. Somebody's
He
got to
did.
drive the bus. And so I'm driving and I get two people in the back complaining the whole time. And that's fine. But,
I'm ready. I'm ready,
perfect. Thank God. Well, buckle up, everybody, because we have a video intro. So here we go.
We're three guys who like to talk pinball, so we came up with a clever name. We're Joel and Travis Tom who talk pinball, and we call ourselves Triple Drain, Triple Drain, Triple Drain. We're Triple Drain.
Well, there we go.
Wait, Joel.
Yeah.
I opened up my my DJ word.
Yes. Is it broken?
It's not broken, but the batteries has two out of the three batteries, and they're like hanging out. I don't know what happened.
Well, if
Okay,
anybody's
awesome.
watching this on YouTube, you guys saw we have a video intro. What's really cool about that is we actually had a guy that reached out to us when I made the comment, and he said, I'd love to make this. And I said, great, that's awesome. And so I gave that guy all the stuff that was needed to make it the song and everything he needed to potentially make that. Well, fast forward a week, over the weekend happens, and we just get an email from a guy, and this guy's name is Brad Johanson. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And he just said, hey, I put this together. Hope you guys enjoy it. And it wasn't the original guy. It was just a guy who just did it. He just made us a video intro, and we were blown away. So I actually reached back out to the first guy and said, I don't know if you've started this or not, but we had another person that did this. And so the first guy is actually going to make us a Tom Talks video. So everybody be ready for that. But yes, we were super impressed with that. I had a few comments back and forth. He changed just one or two. God, there he goes. And Travis is already gone. He changed one or two minor things, but overall, Brad put that together entirely on his own. And he actually does video, like that's his job. So he actually has a company. So it's Alter Creative Media. They're based out of Rochester. He does a bunch of different stuff, but he'd love to do more pinball stuff. So if anybody needs any sort of video done, whether you're in pinball or out of pinball or whatever, feel free to reach out to Brad. I'll put his email address. It's altercreativemedia.com. I will put that in our show notes. so you can check him out. But Brad, thank you very much. Thank you for that. And I'm excited to continue to play that for many, many times. So if you happen to be driving the car and listening to it on the audio podcast, go watch the YouTube video just for the intro, because we really had a good time with it.
And then click off of it. Don't watch the rest.
Yeah, you can stop after that. That's fine. Yeah, we just need the initial view. That's all we need.
Hey, Tom, where do you think our awards and trophies should go?
I don't know. I was going to put mine on my shoulder, but
Yeah.
it's really
Hey, Joel,
hard to
Joel,
balance.
where are you going to put your awards and trophies at?
You mean this one? This one right here? This streaming award that I got last year? The Twippy one?
What is that?
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn it. God, what the hell?
This was the runner-up.
Have you literally been holding that?
That's just
whole
been
entire
sitting here.
time?
No,
oh, wait,
I
did
haven't.
you say that's the
Yes.
runner-up trophy?
It's
Oh.
runner-up. It's runner-up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like to get something like
Yeah,
that?
this isn't a runner-up trophy, Joel.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I actually just thought of that because I knew you wanted to rub it in my face. That yes, but no, that's my one pinball related award. That's the one thing I have. But can you turn it on, the Pinball Degenerates Award? Does it light up?
I tried.
Is it broken?
It's not turning on.
That's fitting. That's
But
fitting.
it's awesome. I appreciate it.
It's
I
very
appreciate it from everybody.
degenerate-like.
It's pretty cool.
Yes, he got the most degenerate score award. Yep. And
Hey,
for people that don't know, what was that score, Travis?
You know what? It was 00, and I had to work my ass off for this
You sure did.
award. I mean, legitimately, think about it, Tom. Okay, all Joel had to do is just show up, right? Just stream.
Yeah,
That's all he had to
that's
do,
right.
right?
I
I
It's
mean,
mean,
like-
turn on
Joel
the
could at
stream
least
and
got
win-
10 points on background.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
let's face facts. It's not difficult to stream. Come on,
Yeah.
I mean, you and Carl, you guys just roll out of bed and it's fine. The stream
Mhm.
works. It does itself, essentially. Let's just face facts here.
True.
But I had to legitimately
Ugh.
score 0 points
Plunge 3 times. Yep.
in a world championship
Yep.
against 3 of the best players in the world and give up a full pinball in order to win this. So,
Yeah. You
know.
sacrificed ball 1.
I
just
mean,
for that
yeah,
award.
I don't want to brag,
Wait,
Joel,
didn't
but
you call them
I-
randoms or something like that?
no, randos.
Randos.
Yeah. You like that Facebook?
So those randos. Yeah.
Me and 3 randos in
Yeah,
the pinball
yeah.
tournament. Yep. Nope, they're pretty good.
Um,
Zoller's pretty good. Escher's pretty good. And I guess, Elwin, he's
whatever.
he's okay. He's done a little bit.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to Keith Elwin. He's had a big week. First off, he did a stream of a game that he made. No big deal. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but even bigger week, he actually played at a tournament up at District 82, and we happened to notice on day one.
More than one tournament, Joel.
I know. I'm making
Oh,
light of
sorry.
it, Tom. I'm making light of it. But he wore day one. He wore a Triple Drain shirt. So I got mine on. Tom's got his on. Travis is a bum. Yep.
I have a hat.
Oh, he's got a hat. Okay,
Can
he's
you
got-
not read?
he's got-
I have a hat. Look at this.
Yeah, I see it. Oh,
All
we
right.
see it. Don't
People-
touch anything. You're gonna
Does,
break the
does
computer.
everybody see what I have to work with? Like, I could be doing anything else on a Friday morning. I could be working.
Yeah.
I could be playing Harry Potter.
We should be working. Is what we should be.
I could be
doing,
talking
yes.
to my wife.
No, you
Hell,
can't.
I
She
could
left.
even be sitting out on the porch and just staring at a tree. But no, I'm here. I'm here with Joel and Tom. Tom, I love you. Thank you so much, Tom, for being professional.
I was just going to say, I always get left out.
No.
No,
No, you're-
Tom, you never do. Like, we noticed you have a new mic back
Sorry.
there. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
sweet.
first off, before we get in the mic, you got a trophy there too. What is that
Yeah.
one? Little
We
ball.
talked
This is
about
my
it.
Player
No.
2 Grand Champion
Yeah.
trophy.
That's
It's just
pretty
Chewy.
sick.
Chewbacca.
Oh, I forgot. It was before
Yeah.
the podcast. It's Chewy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's awesome. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it sounds just like it. Wow.
Yes, and as Travis was pointing out, you got a new mic for your streaming rig. I see back there. You
Yeah, I'm trying it out.
okay.
Trying it
So
out.
are you going for like a 1920s
recommend
vibe now? Like in
Yes.
your streams, like
Yeah,
black and
so
white?
Baby
No. You're-
bottle.
You're going to wear like a
blue.
suit,
blue
like a
baby
business
bottle.
suit when you play?
The blue
No,
baby bottle mic is
I'm not
recommended
a-
by George with Don't Panic Flip. That's his
Yeah.
current mic that he's testing. So
Good streamer.
It's called a what?
Blue
the
is
mic
the
called?
company.
Blue baby bottle.
A blue baby bottle.
Yep, that's
Microphone.
the mic.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, you'll have to
Condenser
let us know what you
microphone.
think. But
All right. So we're 13 minutes into the podcast
Mm.
and we have not talked about
quality
actual pinball
content.
machine. This
Yeah.
is quality content. We got to make fun of you. We proved you can't read, so that's excellent. And you've only ripped on me like 3 times, so yeah, we're good.
I don't. It's not ripping. I'm just pointing out the obvious. That's all it is. It's just pointing out the obvious.
You're a truth teller. That's what it is.
That's what I am. Yes.
Gotcha.
Well, hey, I applaud you. Once again, your room is continuing to look better and better. So
It's evolving.
You've
Yeah.
hung
I
some
want to
stuff
know
on
what's
the
going to
walls.
go on the back. I think you should get a stern banner for the back wall.
All right. So Monica mentioned that because I didn't do this. Monica did that and that. But she mentioned about getting a banner back here. And I was just like, I don't know. Wouldn't that like be too much right here? What
Well,
about
you gotta have something.
Well, what about the Infinity Gauntlet I have? That big
Oh.
sculpture. I want to put it back there, but then you can't see it. So I actually have a light.
You have a light.
Yep.
Yes, you're
it
illuminating
creates-
your floor really well.
Well, it creates a halo. Joel. Halo. All right, we got pinball news to talk about, don't we?
Okay.
I believe
All
we
right.
do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we'll just dive straight into.
Yeah, we'll just drive.
We'll dive straight into it.
Straight into
we
it.
haven't been meandering.
After 15 minutes, we're going to dive
going
right into it.
So,
Yeah.
Bond 60th. We actually had the official Bond 60th stream. Jack Danger did that on Dead Flip. You can see it on YouTube or on his Twitch. And what was really cool was he had Keith Owen. He had Mark. I don't know his last, the Spaccio or something.
Zuckerberg.
No, not Zuckerberg. It was Mark, whatever. I'm sorry, Mark, if you happen to be listening. Highly doubt it. But if you are, I'm very sorry that I forgot your last name. But the guy who programmed the game was on there. And then George Gomez. George Gomez showed up and streamed with him as well. So I will tell you, it was a very entertaining stream. There was some beer involved. It was just cool to see everybody have a good time.
All hell breaks loose when somebody
it
starts
was-
drinking beer.
There was
Isn't it Pinacho? That's the name, right?
Pinacho.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes. So
Didn't he do fishtails?
He did. He did a lot of games. He hadn't done a game in like 20 plus years.
Since fishtails?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So he
I did enjoy the beer though during gameplay.
well, it was cool to see like Keith Owen had mentioned that you can backhand the inline drop targets on the right, and Gomez was trapped up, and Keith is like, George, you can backhand it just real quick, and just like to see Keith like coaching, and then George hit it. And then to see Keith, like the proud parent, like, yeah!
Well, did you
It
see
was
what
really
happened
cool.
though? Did you see what happened with that?
What?
Why he got so excited? Because I even told Keith, I was like, I think this is the most excited. Like, you've won world championships, you've done all that. I've never seen you this excited.
Yeah.
So what happened was Gomez hit the first inline, and then it just kept going and hit the next one.
Oh.
So it's like you could like double
Like
up
a
on
double
there.
hit.
Right, which was actually pretty dope. You don't see that too often. And just
Mhm.
seeing that actually happen, I guess just the way that, I don't know if it was intended. I'm sure Elwin will tell somebody whether or not it was, but just the way that I guess the poster at and the way it was hit, it just had just the perfect inertia
It
or the
worked, yeah.
momentum just to, go through. And then that's when you saw Elwin like raise his hands up in the air. And I was
He was pumped.
his arms do not go above his shoulders. That's impossible. So
Yeah, you're right. He was pumped. And it was, I will say my overall takeaway is it just seemed like it was a fun social vibe that I got from that pin. And I think the goal of the pin is just short ball times, and it be, this is a game that you want to play with other people. You want to do it collectively. There's co-op built into the game, but like it's shipping with version 1.03. Like it's a done game. It's pretty much finished. He did say during the stream that there will be more voice call outs added to the game, but like code wise, depth wise, asset wise, everything, like it's a complete game and it's ready to go, but it's shipped with co-op, and it's just it gives off a very social, fun, let's play this together vibe compared to most modern pins where I remember Keith Owen during the Godzilla stream, like he stepped up and just like blew up the game, and it's when you're watching somebody on a reveal stream play a game for 45 minutes, just like blowing up the game. I mean, that's cool to see that there's that type of depth, but that wasn't the goal of this pin. The goal of this pin is it's brutal. It's going to keep your ball time short, regardless of who you are as a player. And try to do your best, try to conquer it together as a group and in co-op. So Tom, I know I think you are considering getting one of these pins. So I'm assuming you were looking at it with somewhat of a critical eye. What were your main takeaways or thoughts watching the stream?
I liked it. But
okay.
yeah, so that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
What did you see? Yeah, what was it that what stood out?
I just like how it's got a modern vibe, but it's more of a throwback to older games.
Yeah.
So, and I like the brutality of it. You know, I like the fact that I don't have to watch Neil play it for 45 minutes before I get a chance to play. There's some of that. I don't know. I think it's cool. The only thing I wish there was a little bit more video assets, I guess. Yeah. You know, if they throw that into LCD, I think it'd be perfect. But I want to try it.
Yeah. Well, that's the video asset question came up, and George did make a comment, which he basically said, he goes, well, you guys are lucky that you haven't had to deal with video assets, because then you haven't been, wrapped up with the licensor. And so that comment was kind of I don't think video assets are happening.
Yeah. I would imagine that's probably the biggest problem with the Cornerstone Bond game, and getting stuff done with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I can live without it, I guess.
Sure. And I think, just quick side note, on the Cornerstone game, they did do a big update, a big code update recently, where now they allowed mode stacking. And so I know I had voiced before, and I'd heard this before, that the Bond licensor is super particular, where they want to keep everything movie specific. So if you start a mode that's in one movie, they don't want to see video clips of another movie like intermingling. Like they wanted to keep everything separate. So I remember when they said that on the Cornerstone, it was like, well, how in the world are they going to do that on the 60th if there's all these different movies involved? And what we've come to find out is the way they're doing it on the Cornerstone is, if you start, let's say you start a queue mode and then you start a multi-ball. Well, it prioritizes the multi-ball. So it's showing all the video assets of the multi-ball, but now you just have a little logo in the bottom showing that you still have the queue mode running, with like a tally bar on the shots for those. So it's no longer going to show any audio or video from the queue mode. So they are having to make very bold, creative decisions on what prioritizes what, because they can't have things intermix. And so I don't fault them for just avoiding it entirely.
I'd like to talk now, Joel.
Go for it. Yes.
It'd be nice if they did something like Batman 66.
Which is?
Where you could actually press the lockdown bar button and it would flip between the actual modes. So you could see the video assets for that as well as the shots.
That's so first off, bold strategy on the air horn. That worked incredibly well.
Well,
Travis has been doing the hand for a long time, but the air horn may be more effective. But I did not know that, and that's actually a really good. That's not an air horn, you idiot. Just blow. You use the dust. You just blow your mic and blow everybody's eardrums out to get my attention. Gee, you're an idiot. No, that's actually I did not realize that, Tom. And you know what? That's actually
it's really a
good
cool
idea.
Feature of Batman 66, I think, and to incorporate that into the Bond software. Probably won't happen, but it would be it's a nice thought.
I like it though, but remember that action button is still being reserved for your multiplier. So you'd have to find a way to, I think the action button, that's the whole point of the action button, is to enable your, so they'd have to find a way, but I like.
If Raymond Davidson and Tim Sexton can make a button do multiple things, somebody else can too.
Maybe, but no, good point. But I don't know. Travis, you've been quiet. This is weird.
I just been listening and just Tom's air horn broke me. I wasn't expecting that. Last time it was like the zipper or duck call thing going on from the topper. Now,
No, it wasn't the topper. It was my games update.
Yeah,
they were updating. So yeah, Bond 60. I guess we're doing impressions still of it, or of seeing the gameplay or whatever, or just thoughts.
What else do you think we're doing?
I mean, Tom, like I said, Tom broke me. I still got tears in my eyes. Okay, so anyways, like I personally, I'm excited for the game. The theme is what it is. I'm not a Bond fan. I've only seen one. My wife wants to watch the Daniel Craig Bond, so I'm like, we'll get around to it eventually. But I am very excited about this layout because I've talked about this now for a couple of years now, that I really wish that manufacturers would put out old school type filling pins, you know, to where it's just single level, use the modern flippers, give it a different fill. And that's why I really enjoyed Beatles, because it was just that. So seeing this, like, I'm just really excited about it because, one, it has a shot that I really do like, and the figure eight shot.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that before, that even like, because when the three of us talked about homebrews and stuff like that, and something that'd be fun, that type of shot came up, just going down the left side. So seeing that in an actual pin right now, for me, that's exciting, because I love the idea of that shot, and the fact that there's two spinners on it too. I mean, that's pretty dope, because you can go from either the left side, like on the bottom, or you could just go up on the top. And then I love the inline drops. Like, I love those on TNA, and the fact that they're here now on a stern, I'm excited about that. Like, those two things I really do like. And then I guess we got the saw. I assume that this is the shot that Gomez was talking about that he hadn't seen before, where you can hit the spinner up the middle and then it comes back down the right side to the right flipper. And then you just kind of like one time.
The figure eight was the shot that Gomez was referring to.
But the figure eight's been done before.
Yeah, but I don't think he knew that. That was the game. I mean,
Are you
Diamond
sure?
Lady is what everybody like. But even
sure?
Because
well,
even
I mean, the shot.
Even Elwin made a comment that he had forgotten about Diamond Lady. So when the game came out and people were like, "Oh, the figure eight looks like Diamond Lady," even Elwin himself was like, "Oh, you're right. I totally forgot about that game." You know?
I assume the shot that I've never seen before personally is the shot that's right up the middle. Then you one time it into a figure eight, and then it comes back down. And then in theory, you could just one time it again into the inline drops. I mean, there's a lot of different flowing shots there. Yeah, I mean, and I'm curious about the hat disc thing. I mean, we talked about this before. I'm not really a fan of disc in general there, but something about this one just seemed different compared to Avengers. And I don't know if the mech itself is just different. I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe somebody out there, or maybe you guys know.
They talked about it.
Okay, they did. So what is different about it? Because visually, it seemed different watching it in play.
They re-engineered the whole thing, and apparently it is counterbalanced in a way. It has some sort of bearing in it where it'll settle itself down in the same position every time. And so the idea there is, if you had two posts like a Theater of Magic, or that's too much. That left post would have then interfered with your middle shot. So they wanted to make sure it's only one post and it always settles down on the right side, so that it doesn't block your shots anywhere on the left. So it's where it settles is a safe spot to not interfere with other shots, but yet it always settles in a good position that you can rip it.
That's what I was wondering, because it didn't seem like there was much drift on it, like you would see with other pins. Like on Avengers, one of the things that you can do is just machine gun your flippers to set the disc in a certain spot that you want. There you go, hint, hint, for competitive players there, if you want to do something like that. But it didn't seem like you could do something like that with this pin, at least not on the stream that we watched.
No, apparently that's where they said that on stream, that they're like, oh yeah, people are like, oh, it's just the Avengers disc, as in they thought they reused the mech. And they're like, if you only knew the amount of time and hours we invested in that mech to make it spin the way it does and then settle itself back the way it does, it is a completely new mech. So I think it's a cool mech. It was interesting. It's not surprising, but like, so many people on Facebook, not so many, but like to see so many people on Facebook or Pinside afterwards be like, this is a joke. You know, this is not $20,000 worth of a game. There's no assets. There's no this. There's no that. Is this what Stern's doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I get it. And it's weird reading all these comments of they just feel like apparently we as podcasters, we're just fanboys and cheerleaders. We only talk about the positive things and just build up all these companies. Like we need to be real, you know? To me, I'm sorry, but I have a realistic expectation of what this pin is. This pin was made specifically for the licensor because apparently this is what the licensor requested first. They wanted an older pin. So it's almost like Stern had to talk him into allowing them to do the cornerstone. So this was always what they wanted. They wanted an older pin, and bond collectors are a different breed. There's a ton of money in the bond collecting world. And so this pin was designed for them. And we as pinball people are just lucky to try to, kind of be a part of it. And I think I get it. It's super expensive, but they made the pin that the licensor wanted. And I'm sorry, and I feel bad, for the pinball fans that wish this was super accessible and they would be on location everywhere and you could buy them for $8,000. Great. But that's not, from a business standpoint, that wasn't what was asked. That's not what they built. And so they built what the licensor requested. So I don't know if we could just accept that. Great. Let's move forward and actually look at what it is. It looks like it's a really fun pin. Would you rather have a $20,000 pin that looks really fun, or would you rather have another Supreme that's $20,000+ that just looks boring as all get out?
Well, and plus too, let's just get out the common misconception here. It's everybody labels it a $20,000 pin because that's what Stern sold it at.
Yeah.
But the pin can be sold for whatever anybody wants to sell it. So just because you know what I mean? Somebody could sell it for $50,000 if they wanted to. Somebody could sell it for $1. I mean, they could sell it for whatever they want to.
Well, apparently Neil McRae bought all of them.
Yeah,
of them in Europe. So you need to reach out to Neil, and Neil can sell them for whatever he wants.
But here's my thing. It's like at the end of the day, why does the price matter for one particular pin that's in this industry? Because there's many different options. And the reality is that we very much, and I'll say this as somebody that works for a dealer, we all are very much experiencing a first world problem right now, right? To where there's people that will readily buy a $10,000, $12,000 LE. There's people that will buy a $7,000 Pro. And then all of a sudden this pin's too much. Okay, well, the vast majority of people that play pinball on location, $7,000 is too much for them. And we hear that all the time. So there's just different levels to it. And the simple thing is that if you have the money and you want to play this pin, you want it, then get it and enjoy it. If you don't, then it's like, I'm sorry, like there's lots of stuff I would like to get. I would like to have a $10 million house, but I can't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's just different levels to it. And I mean, and I've seen people just posting up, oh, this is a cash grab. This is that. And I just want to say, of course it is. Like what manufacturer out there is trying to not turn a profit and pay their employees? They have so much overhead. Like, how else do you guys think that this game gets out from any manufacturer, right? Any game that gets out from any manufacturer, they have to pay for the license. They have to pay for raw materials. They have to pay for people's time to actually concept the game, to engineer the game, to come up with software, to come up with design. Then they got to pay people to actually, build the game, And then, I mean, there's just so much that goes into running a business that I think a lot of people forget about that. It's not just like 5 people coming up with these ideas and then just putting it all together in a garage and putting it out. I mean, there's just so many things going at scale. And I mean, and the reality is a lot of times when, I've had people contact me about the price too. And these are the same people that have like 5 to 8 cars in their garage, just like I was talking to you guys about, or they collect like a bunch of old bourbon and whiskey stuff. Where, okay, it's all right to have a $3,000 bottle of bourbon in your, you know what I mean? But all of a sudden, 15, 20, 25 grand, it's too far. So what I'm saying is we all have our different hobbies, right? That all intermingle. We all have our different ways that we like to spend our money. And hey, it's okay. Like, you can still be mad about the price. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly valid. But at the same time, it's like, it is what it is. Like, this is just simply a business. And luckily, this will not be the only game that Stern puts out. all year long. It just won't be. And this won't be the only pinball game available from anybody in the industry.
Yeah. And I get that. And I think it's just Keith Elwin makes such an amazing game, and the game looks really fun. I think everybody sees that. I think the game looks really fun. And so everybody just wishes they could play it or have it. And unfortunately, this is going to be one of those games that's going to be harder to come around or come across or have the ability to play. I know if I have a chance to borrow one to stream it for Flipping Out, I know multiple people that like want to come over. Like, it's just say, "Oh, you're going to have one for a few weeks. Like, please let me come." Like, they want their chance to get their hands on it. And I think that's awesome. I don't know. Tom, you are seriously thinking about getting one though. I mean, so what is it in your collection? What is it, why? What's the thought behind having one?
I just want to play something different.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So basically 2 games are leaving, one's coming in. So now I have a little room.
Oh, there you go. You got room for all your friends because you can play co-op and just, get your butt kicked together. It'll be great.
I don't have any friends.
You got us, Tom.
Yeah.
I would want to get the pin personally if it was the right theme.
Okay.
Like if this was a theme that I really enjoyed, I probably wouldn't have a problem taking my funds, my budget for pinball, and making room for it. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
So and selling multiple games just for this one.
Well, and again, because in my opinion, I think it's going to hold its value after the fact. It's just, yeah, there's ups and downs in the market. But when we look at all things considered, that it's a Bond 60th, Bond fans, they love Bond. There's a lot of people that discover pinball for the first time. And when they do, like we talked about this, every theme is brand new to them, right? And then you got Elwin behind it, Elwin design. So it's going to be fun either way. And so, I mean, those things into consideration, that's why I would really want the pin. And yeah, it's just, for me, it's just the theme is the only thing that stops me from doing it. Like, that's literally the only thing from looking for this pin and trying to find it, just because I want a modern pin that is a single layout game that's fun to rip spinners, that's fun to do. I mean, yeah, again, we could talk about price all day long, but the prices, they're all over the place anyways. I mean, we see everything every day, like Bally Williams pins. You see those for over 10 grand now. MSRP on those were like 3,500, so it's like, that's just the way it is. There's just ebbs and flows to it. And just like you mentioned, Joel, they're going to be out there at some point. Somebody will be able to play it. Like, I heard that there's one that's coming to TPF. I've heard that from a couple of people. And I think they even mentioned that on the Dead Flip stream as well. And I've heard of other places on location are going to have this pin here or on their location. So, I mean, I know it's going to be out in California. I think it's going to be somewhere in New York, somewhere in Pennsylvania, from what I've heard. So it's going to be out there. So if you want a chance to play it, like, I think people will be able to play this. I don't think it'll be as hard to find it that people think. Now, when it's at a show, you're probably going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting in line for a little while, but you'll still have a chance to play it. That's why we go to shows anyways, right?
Well, there'll be one at Tom's house too, but I don't know. I mean,
and there will be one at your house.
Don't go to Tom's
now
house.
We need 2 lines at your places. Yeah, got it.
If you ring my doorbell, I won't answer.
I don't know. I will. Just to wrap up the 60th conversation, then, I mean, I once we actually get some hands-on experience, we'll probably dive a little deeper into it. But I would just say my takeaway coming away from the stream, the game looks fun. The game looks fun. I think it shoots really well. There was no doubt, but like actually seeing people play it, it's not like the shots only look good during the promo video or only look good because Keith Elwin can hit the shots. Like, all 4 people were hitting shots and made it look really enjoyable. And to see them kind of attack it in different ways. They did an entire co-op game where they were just trying to get through all the villain modes. Then they did another co-op game where they were just trying to get through all the gadgets. And like, having a simplistic layout but actually have complexity to the rules is really exciting. And from the scoring standpoint, I'm assuming you guys were salivating over tournament strats and whatnot, because you go through an in lane and the opposite spinner's lit for super spinner, and all the points are in bonus, so you better not tilt. And just this has some. It says, "Oh, that actually brings up a really good point. There was a shush during the stream." And we can make one real quick comment about that. But But yes, Jack Danger pointed out something that Keith Elwin does in his designs. And basically what he pointed out was, and
So
this
we're
is
just
not
going to
new.
re-point it out.
Well,
on the
I
podcast for
don't.
everybody.
Everybody's seen it, but I think it's a really good. I had not thought about it, and well, all we'll say is Keith does some stuff with his slings. He moves his slings back,
And that's all we're going to say about it.
yeah, which is. But I like, and there goes Travis. Travis,
I'm happy. I'm happy to not be part of this combo.
No, I had not thought about. I had not thought about that, and
You haven't
what Keith
actually
said-
like looked at your Godzilla?
No, I had, but I
compared
didn't.
that
I
to, like,
didn't. I
Deadpool?
didn't realize why that matters. Like why moving the slings out matters, and that's what Keith actually mentioned. Is he said
So-
when you move the slings out, you have way more control with the flippers. I had not put that together. I thought it was like, well, maybe he doesn't want you to be able to post pass easily. Maybe
I'm
it's
just
a
shocked.
challenge. Well,
Shocked
I'm
you
not-
did not put it together.
Yes.
That this makes it easier for you to handle the ball in a flipper.
We are different people. Our skill levels are very different. and
Oh,
that's
that reminds
fine.
me. I don't want to interrupt too much, Joel, but we do need to plug Ape Flip's YouTube video of your absolute clinic on Deadpool and flipper skills. So you guys look that up.
That was quite a while ago. If you haven't seen it, go to Abe Flips. He's a great content creator. He just happened to use some of my content to make a very educational video, which I endorse because it was hilarious. Yes.
Proceed, Joel.
But yeah, no, that's something, and I get it, that if that's Keith's thing, we don't want to see all other designers start to do that. But it's just, I had not put two and two together. What's the advantage of moving the slings that way? He's saying you get way more flipper control. Sure, you lose the ability to post transfer, but you get way, like, it seems to make sense now why Godzilla, I seem to be way more in control than other games. I don't know. I thought that was really interesting.
Keep in mind, too, one of the other design aspects of it as well, that if you do something that doesn't allow for, I guess, post passing or anything like that, then you have to be able to find a way to get the ball back to the other flippers. So that's where the flow of shots come.
Okay.
Like a return shot from either a spinner that will come back down an orbit to a catch, or maybe another ramp or something like that. So that's all things to consider as well, because it all meshes together really well.
Sure.
And that's really for me personally, just playing Elwin pins, that's the secret sauce to it right there. That it gives you a reason. You have a reason to hit every shot in the game, right? And then you're able to basically be under control for as much as possible. And for some people, that does lead to longer ball times, and then others, it might not. We have people that contact us all the time about Godzilla that they actually think that the game's too hard for them and it's on default settings, right? So there's still a lot of casuals out there. It's just the same way I told you guys about the Rush casual that I heard from that's played thousands of games and hasn't broken 750 million yet. So, there's just, that's the way it is. Not everybody can be a world-class player like Joel, just crushing games all the time. So, I think people have fun in their different ways, which is awesome about it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I don't know. I thought that was really interesting. But the last thing, what I was going to say about Bond 60th is my brother and my brother-in-law and I, we actually went out to Tappers. It's an arcade bar downtown Indy, and they have like 20 plus pins, and we played pinball for like 2 hours. All the modern stuff. They have the CGC games. That was the main reason I went, because I wanted to put more time on Medieval Madness and Monster Bash and Attack from Mars, just to like compare them to Cactus Canyon. But we played for like 2+ hours. Came home, it was late, and I was surprised, but they're like, hey, you want to go play some more pinball? And so we actually came down here and started playing some of the games. And my brother-in-law goes, man, I miss TNA. And I will tell you, like, after playing all these modern games for 2+ hours, I agreed. Like, having TNA, single level, brutal, simplistic game that we could conquer together, like, that was the change of pace that at that point we wanted. And unfortunately I don't have it right now because I traded it. And that reiterated, like, even in my small collection of 4 games, having something like this, a single level game. So it may not be Bond 60th, but TNA is a good example. Beatles is a good example, or just an older game, whether it is an EM or just, an 8-ball deluxe or something like that, a Fathom. Like, having an older game like that in your collection to just kind of change it up is really enjoyable. And that's what I saw. I saw that experience in the Bond 60th stream, that is clearly a pin that can just, you can it's a good change of pace. It's a fun change of pace. So Tom, in your collection, I think it'll be fantastic. I think it'll fit in real nice.
Thanks, Joel.
Yes. Well, this is a subtle transition, but we want to talk about some of the other manufacturers and some of the rumored titles because we Texas Pinball Festival is going to be crazy. And the reason I'm saying this is a subtle transition, we'll just dive straight in, but single level fun, right? Single level games. There is a rumor. So CGC, the rumor is that Pulp Fiction is going to be shown at Texas Pinball Festival. And the rumor is that Pulp Fiction is a single level game. So why all of a sudden is there this big change to ditch ramps? And I think it comes back to like, it's a change of pace. It's a change. It is something modern. You get the screen, you get the lights, you get all the modern goodness, but yet a simplicity or a feel of a retro game to kind of break up the current status of games. I don't know. Thoughts on
Or it could
rumored?
be license
What do you mean?
driven. The licensor wants single
Oh,
level.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That was the thing,
That's
right?
a
Quentin
good
Tarantino.
possibility. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
But even still, I kind of like, I don't know. I'm all for it. Now, if this was your dream theme, right? Like, and you are a modern collector, you know,
already
you may
have
want
it.
your dream. Oh, your Rush game.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What about that, Tom? If Rush
Yeah.
would have come out and Rush was a single level game, let's say the code was still incredibly great.
if there were two flippers and a pop bumper, I would have bought it, Joel.
But so it would not, if you would have seen that Rush was a single level game, would you have been disappointed at all? Like, would it have
Yeah,
affected
maybe a
your
little
thought of the
bit.
game? So
Maybe
you
a
would have
little
thought less of it.
but I think it just comes down to what's the layout like, what's the code, all these factors. Is there Rush music actually in the freaking game?
I mean,
Would you have gotten a Bagatelle Rush
Maybe.
if it just had one song in it?
I
Like where you just plunge.
definitely have room for that. I could
Yeah.
hang it on the wall.
so Travis, if Avengers would have come out and it was a single level game, would that have excited you, bummed you out? What would it, I mean?
No, I mean, it depends what the design is.
Yeah.
I enjoy all pinball. I have probably, I think, like 8 or 9 EMs in my collection, and I have a bunch of solid states as well. So I try to have a balance, just what you were talking about a second ago. That
Mhm.
way it's not just all moderns all the time. I mean, going for wizard modes or trying to play for an hour is fun in times, but then sometimes I just want to, do something else, like just work on ripping a spinner or something like that. So that's where Globetrotters or, playing like a spinner based EM game is a lot of fun, like Hocus Pocus or something like that. So, if it was on a single level game, depending on what the design is, I'd probably still be interested in it just because and Tom can attest to this. If you play enough competitive pinball, you've seen all kinds of different designs, all kinds of different themes, all kinds of different ways to approach a pin. And oftentimes when you look at some of these old school games, like let's take Dolly Parton, for instance, right? You don't have any modes really. You know what the theme is, but it's not like that there's theme assets on anything that you're doing beyond hitting a target that might have a letter that goes to it. So stuff like that, we're used to it enough to where I can't speak for Tom, but I can speak for myself that part doesn't bother me as much. That if the layout's fun and there's some type of integration that way to where at least the artwork is cool or something like that, then yeah, I can accept that. Now, obviously, if I'm looking at like a Deadpool or Godzilla, like behind you, it is pretty sweet that there's modes attached to it. And then there's some depth to it to where you can attack it in different ways and play for a long time as well. So, I mean, it's just ebb and flow. I think it just depends on what people prefer. But yeah, that'd be my preference. If I like the theme, like the layout, I'll get it because I love single level games. I wish people would do more modern single level games, stuff like that. I enjoy them a lot.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think your wish is getting answered. I mean, it was interesting on the Bond 60th stream to hear Keith, because somebody was like, what was it like designing a game without ramps? And he was like, it was fun. Ramps are easy. That's what I mean. and we've talked about this before, the amount of real estate that a ramp actually takes up is a decent bit because you have to get the ball vertically. So when you have a single level game, you really have to think through every little area of that and the flow that you're potentially going to have. And yeah, you really think about Bond 60th and how many shots there are in that layout. Like even the captive ball, which is the hard shot kind of tucked away, like it's way back there, but it's a whole nother kind of fun shot that's hidden in there. While if there was a ramp, one ramp would have covered that entire, inline drop captive ball section. And instead we have multiple elements to the game.
One of the really cool things I thought watching the stream was when they got into multi-ball and got the jackpot lit, and it was a timed jackpot. Like you only had like 20 or 30 seconds to hit it. You don't see that quite a bit nowadays with modern games. So I just thought that was really neat.
Yeah. And I think this pin, I mean, sure, it's the biggest barrier is going to be, can you play one? Can you find one to play one? But once people, I think, have the opportunity to play it, I think this is such an ode, a love letter to some of these older games, and the way even the scoring is based. Like, I think this is really going to draw people into some of those older games and just the appeal to a score-driven game. Oh, Travis is holding his hand up.
Are we talking about Pulp Fiction or Bond 60 now?
Sorry,
which way did we go?
This whole time.
We had that, and
this,
and then Tom talked about it. I'm saying
no, I was just
we time traveled.
You were talking about Bond 60th, and I just started thinking.
Yeah, I'm swerving, guys. I'm driving the bus. I'm driving the bus. I'm not driving it. Now. It's not straight. I'm swerving, but just stay with me.
Somehow we took a U-turn. I must have been looking down because now I'm looking up.
We're still talking about single level games. So we've talked about, what do we know about Pulp Fiction? We don't know anything. We don't know anything about it.
I'll say this about
it's a movie by Quentin Tarantino.
Yes. Okay.
It's a fun movie. So I'll say this about single level games. The thing that I'm most excited about seeing some of these modern manufacturers tackle single level games, whether it was Spooky, whether apparently it's going to be CGC or whoever else is involved, and seeing Stern do it. I like the idea of modern mechs being on this game and modern rule sets being on the game as well, to where you can have a little bit more to it besides just hitting just a drop target and scoring points. But I like the idea of having just different designs that people aren't used to. Like right now, I guarantee the vast majority of people that buy modern pinball machines, they've probably never even played a split flipper game to where you have two flippers on the same side, like a Harlem Globetrotters or a Paragon or something like that. So, I mean, I would very much, I wish this was possible. I don't know if it is from a monetary standpoint, but I wish it was possible to do just, what's the word, like more dynamic designs or more eclectic designs, or just something that's just so far different from what we're seeing now. And I think you can do that with the single level game. Like we see it a lot with EMs, with either waterfalls or like a jumping jack to where there's no in lanes, but there's an out lane with pop bumpers like right there at the flippers where you got to fight it back and forth. I mean, there's different things I think could be done. So I'd be excited to see more manufacturers tackle something like that. And even if it's not, it doesn't have to have a ton of assets to it, just slap a theme on it that people like. It could be a C-level theme. And I think something like that could possibly work.
Yeah, and don't forget Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty obviously had that pop bumper down near the flippers.
Right, but it had ramps though and all that. So
yeah, you have Rick and Morty still, Tom?
Mm-hmm. It's right next to me.
Yeah,
you just can't see it.
I don't mean this is a bad question, but like, why do you still have it? Like, why has it remained in your collection?
F you,
no, I don't.
Joel.
I don't mean it like an insult to the game.
Oh my gosh!
You have a very curated collection, so I'm curious. What about Rick and Morty?
I like the game.
Okay.
Is that? I mean,
that's good.
I like the game and I like the theme.
You need to tell us more, Tom.
Yeah.
Why do you like the game?
I'm not going to get into an in-depth discussion about it. I mean, this is a podcast. Yeah. So you need to move on.
I was hoping you'd say, like, oh, it's because of the unique layout that, it's no.
Well,
I don't know.
It has a unique layout. It has a lot of tough shots on it.
I will help us with the segue now. So since we were talking about Digital games come to TPF. That means that we do know for sure that Spooky is going to be bringing
Scooby Doo.
There we
Scooby-Doo.
go. Thank you, Tom Graf. So I will like speed Keanu Reeves. I'm going to like get away from the Will, and Joel, you could take it back now.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to slam on the brakes because Tom, I actually have one more Rick and Morty question for you.
God. You just killed us all. You
no.
can't go below 50
Oh
miles an
my
hour.
God.
No, this is Joel.
Did you guys see the mod that those guys that made
Yes,
that
actually,
ramp thing?
I put in for one.
No way. Okay.
I
Did you
did.
see this, Travis?
I did. Remember what I texted you guys as soon as I saw it?
No, I don't.
No.
That if I was Scott Denisi,
Oh,
I'd be
yes,
like,
yes.
shit.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like this. So as a owner, so what we're mentioning, there is a guy, and I think he said he's only going to make like 30 of them, but maybe if his demand is huge. But what the guy did is currently there's not weird, there's the
90
left
degree
ramp.
shot.
Yes, but you have 3 stand-up targets. It's Jerry and the mom and the girl. I'm sorry, I don't know. But basically that main section, that plastic, this guy is making this kind of tunnel ramp that goes, it's hidden directly under that plastic, and you lose the Jerry stand-up. And so the Jerry stand-up now becomes that shot. So it adds a switch in there, so you still get quality for that. But it allows you to hit the portal shot really easily. Or easier. You can hit that shot from the bottom right flipper instead of having to hit it with the upper right flipper. So it is it is a drastic geometry change to the game, but yet it's very well done and hidden. Like you won't even know really that it's there. So Tom, what was it about? I mean, you own the game. Why? You said you're putting in for one. What was it that you were like, yes, I'm in on that?
I just want to try the mod.
Oh, just to see how it.
Yeah, just to see how it works versus what I have. I mean, I can make that shot. It's tough,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I want to see if it's easier and if it
Improves
improves on the gameplay. Yep.
Interesting. I mean, yes, as a designer, I know Kevin and Nick on Buffalo Pinball, they just actually had this entire conversation, but they were talking about Black Knight Sword of Rage and the sword mod that people have done so that instead of the VUC feeding the right flipper, it's a VUC that feeds this sword ramp to feed the left flipper. And there are people that swear that really drastically changes the game because now it's not so much a right heavy flipper game. And it does bring up a question. It's your game, do what you want to it. But I also understand we kind of want to respect, obviously, like what's the designer's intentions? What was the designer wanting you to do? And I mean, we could go down a whole nother rabbit trail of, well, when you change rubbers or change flippers or change this or change that, are you now outside the designer's intentions for the game?
Imagine taking a sorcerer and moving the entire lock mechanism on it.
Is that a thing? Who did that?
It used to be the Sharp
wow.
brothers. They
Who
would
do you
that
think
all
did it, Joel?
Our
Our overlord, Josh Sharp, did it.
That's crazy, but I don't know. So okay, so interesting. I'm if you get one, Tom, I'm very curious to hear how that mech works. So
I will talk about it on the podcast if you let me have a couple minutes.
I will gladly ask. So now I'm going to let Travis floor the floor. We're catching right back up to speed. That was a fantastic transition. I don't even remember what. Oh, Spooky. So Scooby. I didn't know which on ramp he tried to.
Apparently, we're in
The
the
company
sequel.
you hate,
Like,
Joel.
no,
I
we
do
are.
not hate Spooky.
Like we're in that shitty ass sequel with the cruise ship right now. That's what we are. Keanu Reeves isn't in this movie anymore.
Okay, Scooby Doo. Yes, there will absolutely be Scooby Doo at TPF. There are already Scooby Doos on location. They're on location. Unfortunately, some of the initial feedback I got was almost everyone has had some sort of malfunction mechanically, but they've all been small. They've been all small things that all the operators have been able to fix, get the games back up and running. The initial reviews that I've read are people are really impressed with it. They like the way it shoots. They really like the bookcase flipper. They think that's unique, and they like the depth of the code that's already there and experiencing the modes. I've read different things on some people think the game plays a lot harder than the initial stream showed. They're actually draining the ball, while other people are saying no, the ball times seem to be medium to long. So I don't know. I know, Tom. There's a few in your state. but yet you're like snowed in by 8 feet. So I'm assuming you haven't had a chance to play one yet.
No.
Okay. Travis, you haven't. You haven't. Yeah, you haven't played one either.
No, but I know a few people that have. I mean, so the feedback I've gotten is that they didn't call it a long player, but they said it wasn't really a difficult game either.
Okay.
Even without lane posts like all the way up or wherever. So, I mean, because that's what we found out afterwards, that apparently during, I guess, the reveal stream, that they had everything set up super easy for whatever reason, I guess just to show stuff. But that's what somebody had told me before. So I guess in general, people are liking what they're seeing so far is the feedback that I'm getting, that just based on, I guess, comparing it to other pins that have come out. I mean, I've heard from people that have played all the other Spookies that they like it a lot more than Ultraman, Halloween. I mean, take that for what it is. But then I've heard people say that they like it better than Rick and Morty and that they like it better than Alice Cooper. So those are the two games that have done fairly well for Spooky also. So, I mean, you know, I really like the theme. I'm looking forward to playing it. So it looks interesting to me. I am excited to be able to play it.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. I don't know what's coming. Zach is going to bring me either Bond 60th or Scooby Doo. That's the next game I'm going to stream. So I'll have hands on one of them, but I'm excited. Those are both games that I'm very much excited to flip. They look unique. Obviously, we already talked about the 60th, but
I have two friends that have gotten one, and they really enjoy it. Their families really enjoy it that don't play a lot of pinball. So that's a good sign.
Oh,
yeah.
No. It just check that friends and family box for Joel. Sorry, Keith. No Bond 60 coming in now.
I already have
your Cactus Canyon.
I'm already wrestling with this because
you see Joel's mic like just vibrating now. You got so excited there. Jeez.
No,
calm down, Joel.
I'm struggling, man. It's this constant curating of your collection and tweaking it and trying to get whatever you feel.
Is it because you can actually hit the shots on Cactus Canyon that you like it so much?
I don't. No, that's what's funny though is everybody says it's an easy game. Everybody says it's an easy game.
All right, wait. Before you go on, have you beat the game?
I have beat the game.
And we're still debating whether or not it's an easy game or not.
Oh, you're right. It's okay. I have beat the game. It's fine. I don't even know how to argue it. You know, I know when it comes to the list of games that I've beaten.
You still beat the game. I mean, that's still awesome, but we just need your opinion. Was it difficult?
Yeah, I think it's it. I do think it's difficult. There are days. Okay,
how many
like
other
Deadpool.
Games have you beat? How many other games have you beat?
We've had this conversation. The only games that I've technically beat.
It's difficult to not dream.
What does technically beat mean? What does that mean?
Like
you
Toy
took the
Story.
glass off and you hit all the switches?
Like Toy Story, I got to the wizard mode, but to beat the game, you got to go through it a whole nother time. Like
right, you didn't beat the game there, right?
So I didn't beat the game. No.
That's like technically, that's like me saying I technically had sex with my wife, but I was on the other side of the house with all my clothes on, just like watching TV, and I happened to like go past Cinemax at 11 o'clock. Like, you got to finish, Joel. You can't say technically.
What are we talking about? What are like?
You're the one saying I technically beat the game, and then you're like, oh, well, I finished the first half, but I didn't do the whole last half of the thing.
Oh, fair. Okay, fine.
But no, I am genuinely happy for you that you did beat the game, because that is exciting when you finish beating a game. And I will admit, Tom's comment after you told us he beat the game completely broke me. But still.
What? And we're still talking about it? That was the comment?
No. I mean, I think we're supposed to be on TPF.
No,
something. But we told. But
I like this game.
I did want to ask you though, Joel, because I didn't follow up with this question. And this is a legit question. This isn't rip on Joel, because I love Joel to death, except the times that I hate him. But still, you said that you went somewhere on location, right? And we're getting off of TPF, so we're already in Speed 2. We're just coming back around.
You're steering right now. This is not my fault.
It's fine. We're at the bottom of a lake right now. Don't worry about it.
Tom's just sitting in the back of the bus reading a book.
I think Tom
is there a car crash sound on there?
Tom wants to know this answer though too, because I'm genuinely curious, because you've gone back and forth about what game you want to add to your collection.
Yeah,
and you briefly mentioned that you went on location to play all the other CGC games. And then you didn't say anything else about that. You came back and played more pinball. So how did, for you, Monster Bash, Attack from Mars, and Medieval Madness stack up to Cactus Canyon?
Well, the reason I didn't talk about it is because I know you guys aren't going to like the answer.
Whoa.
I will.
You're getting defensive.
Yes. No,
Man,
I know. You're not going to like the answer because, unfortunately, the one I would put lowest on that list is Attack from Mars. Attack from Mars. And see, exactly. He doesn't like the answer. I knew he wouldn't like the answer. Oh, Tom's leaving. Welcome, listeners. This is my solo podcast. Welcome. This is just another pinball podcast episode, whatever we're on. Let me share my feelings. Yep.
Travis isn't, though.
Why is that? So I was playing with my brother. I was playing with my brother-in-law. First off, I never realized how far back the shots are on Attack from Mars. Like, all the shots are very far back. And I don't mean that as an insult, but like, it just, if I'm looking,
the shots on Godzilla are just
they are, but maybe it's because there's some side shots and a side flipper. I don't know. It's just, it felt whatever. So anyways, Attack from Mars. Attack from Mars is a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong. But what is it in my mind? Why am I looking at a CGC game? I'm looking at a CGC game because of theme, light show, like a super fun, accessible game for friends and family, and then stuff in the game for friends and family that like toys, mechs that they can get into, but then also keep me entertained. So what is it about Attack from Mars? I get it. The bouncing Martians, very cool. The spaceship, very cool. But if I'm going to just compare Bash Toy to Bash Toy, I do think the castle is much more entertaining than the spaceship. Personally.
So what's number 3 then?
Third?
Yeah.
You don't like that. My third is Medieval Madness. Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So right now I am between Cactus Canyon and Monster Bash. And and this is because I know, do I think I would absolutely beat Monster Bash? Yes. Have I officially confirmly beaten Cactus Canyon? Yes. There's no question. I've beaten Cactus Canyon.
Have you beat 50% of Monster Bash? Because apparently, anytime you get 50% through a game, you technically beat it.
No, actually, I haven't. And the reason I was frustrated because the one at Tappers, the Cliffy or whatever, was super bent on the Monster Bash scoop to the point where I was just getting rejection after rejection after I couldn't finish. Okay. I couldn't make it happen.
That's what she said.
I know. I'm trying to lay into Travis's weird analogies, but
hey, you know what? The fact is, you've created a new T-shirt, so I appreciate it. Like Joel Wizard Mode is when you get 50% through the game.
50% of the game, Wizard Mode.
Joel's
Joel. Wait, what happened to Joel?
Joel Division. Joel Division is shout out to Ray Day. Joel Division is it's clever. That's very good.
So I'm gonna say email at triple what the hell's our email, Joel?
tripledrain@gmail.com. Yes.
So wait, have you gotten to Reactor 5?
I've gotten to Reactor 6. So I beat the game.
You beat the game. That's awesome.
God, you're the worst.
What? Well, you're the one that said this. I'm not making shit
Toy
up.
Story is a copy paste for the second half of the game. So in my mind, beat the game is like I feel like maybe beat is the wrong word. I feel like I'm gonna give Joel
credit.
Oh, I don't. This is not going to be genuine. But go ahead, Tom.
No, you beat the game.
Thank you.
Yep.
So why am I Monster Bash? Once again, I'm looking at this game and I'm very much considering friends and family. Monster Bash, I love the theme. My kids love monsters. They would love the theme. And you can't tell me, like, the toys in Monster Bash are fantastic. Yep. There are so many different really cool toys. So if I'm going to lay into that to me, I just feel like I definitely see the chopping wood aspect of Medieval Madness. And I know as a depth of code, I do agree that the code depth is the best in Attack from Mars. But if I'm going to curate my collection, right, like I already have a game that has amazing code depth. I've got Godzilla that I'm going to be able to chip away at forever. So if I am between Cactus Canyon and Attack from Mars right now. And I'm really enjoying Cactus Canyon. I enjoy the code, and knowing that if the 2.0 code ever comes out and the code is only going to get better, that's where I'm between.
If I was going to buy a game solely on toys, I would buy Monster Bash.
Okay.
So that's what you're meaning, though. You're between Cactus Canyon and Monster Bash, not Attack from Mars.
Correct. Yes, I'm
Okay.
between Cactus
Attack
Canyon.
from Mars is burnt. He
Well,
took it to the bin.
there's a
and just
whole-
threw
I
a
will
match
give it
on
to Joel. I will give it to Joel.
Okay.
Okay. That out of all the remakes, I personally do not like the Attack from Mars remake feel or the Medieval Madness feel. I much prefer the Monster Bash and Cactus Canyon feel.
I
So-
100% agree with that.
So calm down, Joel.
I'm calm.
Calm the F
I just, two people get up off their chair because they don't want to listen to my opinion, but yet at the end of the day, they agree with me? What? I don't know. I just, and he's gone. Travis is good. It's the
His
timing of
camera's
his
out.
camera going off.
I
It's
really
like perfect
need
today.
I need a listener to tell me how to keep this camera on.
You're an idiot. Everybody, you know how to keep the camera on. Anyways, that's where I'm at. And what surprises me is I can't find a Monster Bash. That's the problem, is like in this area, I don't want to ship one. I want to be able to pick one, but it's like I've reached out to my local arcade group. I've reached out to the Indiana Pinside page. Nobody has one. Nobody has one for sale. So it's like I can't even be tempted right now to buy a Monster Bash. Where I'm stuck is, well, if I can't buy a Monster Bash, then it looks like I'm going to go with Cactus Canyon. But even there's a big question mark because CGC is so behind on building all their stuff. And if there's rumored that CGC is going to be revealing a new game, like, are they even going to make SE pluses? Like, if that's what I was going to buy as an SE plus, do I even have if I placed an order with a distributor right now, am I ever going to get that game? I don't know. I don't. There's a big question mark right now with CGC and their production and timelines, and I don't know. But I've been reading a lot of the Cactus Canyon Pinside thread and seeing all the owners and how many people are still waiting on their LEs and still waiting on stuff. I'm in. I want to get a game, but yeah. So any listener that happens to be in this area of Indiana or surrounding states has a Monster Bash, let me know. But otherwise, everybody, Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew. Imagine this is a Diet Mountain Dew, but it's a Diet Coke. So
Shocker.
all right, we've talked about CGC. We've talked about Spooky. We've talked about Stern.
Can I ask one question, Joel?
Yes.
Unrelated to TPF and everything. Why is your Jurassic Park off, but your other 3 games are on?
Well, first off,
Is
you
it
are seeing a
broken?
different camera than the viewers.
Oh,
And I have Jurassic. So Jurassic
gee.
Park is not in the shot, but the reason Jurassic Park is off is because it's my buddy Ryan's, and he doesn't have the Pinmonk silent fan mod in it. So I hear a humming when I leave it on during the podcast. So I turn it off.
I see.
There you go. There's
Fancy.
behind the
2
curtain.
cameras. Man.
Okay.
Ah.
So by your fans at Pinmonk.
Pinmonk, dude, Victor's the man.
Pinmonk.
Yeah, you gotta have it in Stearns. Okay, so Stern, we can talk about Stern. Their cornerstone's supposed to be March. So is Stern going to reveal something before TPF? They don't typically do that. Normally it's like the week after TPF, and then they have it at MGC. So
Who's up for design?
well, George Gomez had said that it is very clear the two designers this year will be Jack Danger and Brian Eddy. So which one it will be, I don't know.
Flip a coin, everybody.
And then the rumored titles, once again, are Venom and Foo Fighters. Don't know. What I will say is there was a lot of Foo Fighter comments made during the Bond 60th stream. They kept saying Foobar. What's Jack's next game? Foobar. Foobar is a war term, and it's I don't know, the whole thing.
Do you know where Foobar's from?
What is it? I've always remember hearing Foobar from
Do you
what?
know, Travis?
It's from
It's from a movie.
a movie. Was it Saving Private Ryan or was it from
Oh my God.
It's a war movie.
It's not
Or
a
is it
war movie.
Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers.
No.
What's it from? One of
Tango
those.
and Cash.
Okay, I haven't seen that movie, and I've absolutely
Oh
seen
my
and heard the
God.
word Foobar
I-
from a movie. Oh, he's leaving again. Tom's gone. Tom's gone. It's effed up. What is it? Beyond. What is it?
Recognition.
All recognition. Yeah. I'm all over it.
Nothing to do with Foo Fighters.
Well, no, I think they kept saying it as a joke because it's Foo Bar, Foo Fighters.
No, that's not
I'm
what they
just
were
telling
saying.
you, just wait. But he said that, and then he kept saying, there was another thing that it said, fool me once, blah, 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 fool me twice. Like George Gomez kept saying the word foo over
Maybe
and
it's
over and over
Def
again.
Leppard. They got that song "Foolin'."
Did you ever think about that, Joel?
Yeah,
I didn't think about that. I was just going with surface level. He kept saying the word foo. So I kept thinking Foo Fighters, but maybe I'm the idiot. So I don't know. I don't know what's coming,
It's been debated.
but it's been debated. All right. So we don't know. We don't know. Hopefully Stern announces something soon. Well, we know they're going to show something in March, but whether or not it'll be soon before TPF.
I just feel like that there's a big collision that's coming at TPF at the likes that we've never seen before, because we still got one more company, or we got two more companies to talk. We got two more companies to talk about that are teasing things. So, I mean, we already know Spooky's coming with Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
And then
Pinball
potentially.
Oh, wait, sorry.
The what?
Pinball Brothers
Pinball
should probably
Brothers.
have a queen there.
Oh, Queen. Yeah,
Sure.
Queen will probably be there. But
Actually,
then,
JDL is supposed to live stream them today. Queen.
Huh.
oh, Friday, the February 24th.
Yes.
That would be today.
Oh, cool. Cool.
The day we're recording, not the day people are listening.
Sorry,
Right.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. Tom, you're a effing beauty. You can do whatever you want.
CGC, Pulp Fiction, Stern, potentially Foo Fighters or something else. Then we have American with Galactic Force, GTF. We're all pumped.
This is what I'm seriously most excited about this pen. I'm fired up for it.
Yes. Okay. I agree.
Like, no sarcasm.
Yeah.
I am excited for this pen.
Dennis Nordman makes fun games. It'll be a unique layout. I think we're all just been waiting a long time to see what's going on here. But I've heard some very interesting rumors about this game. And the game sounds insane. And I'm all for it, you know? I don't know. Have you guys heard anything that you want to share or discuss? I mean, what are your, it's Galactic Tank Force, just the name alone. Like, I hope they don't take it too seriously, because it sounds insane. And I hope they just lean into it.
Do you want to go first, Tom?
No, you can, because I don't know a lot about the game. But
About
it
GTF?
sounds interesting.
GTF. So, how can I word this? I will just say,
Galactic Tank Force. Oh, sorry.
without giving anything away, I think people will be pleasantly surprised about this game when they see it at TPF. And I don't want to say too much more about that. It's
Sure.
Obviously, you could look on my face. I know about this game, and that's why I'm excited about it. I don't want to give anything away. I'm not going to do
You
leaks.
look pumped up about it.
I am legitimately, since I figured out what was going on with this game, we had the podcast a few months ago. I was legitimately excited for it. And, you know, to me, it depends how the flippers feel as well. Like, I actually like the way Hot Wheels flipped, and I had one for a little while. So if the flippers stay like they are, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what this pin will be. I think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised when they see it at TPF.
Will it have a tank in it?
I think it will be tank themed. Yeah, there's no denying that.
I nearly answered that.
Yeah,
Tom really got me. I think people will be very surprised by it, and I think people will be. I don't know. I think. I want to say, I won't say that the hype will meet what we're saying, because honestly, I have zero idea about that. But I am excited about the potential of this pen.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that.
It's Chris Franchi art. We know that, and they've already revealed some little snippets of his art, and it's very clear. It's like an Art Deco kind of style. Like, it is very stylized. So I think that's the realm we're going to be in. Chris does great art. There's no denying that. Now, normally he does a lot of photorealism, so taking pictures of things and kind of redoing them, but this is a unique theme, so it'll just be interesting to see what he does. But I have no doubt, I bet the layout will be fun, whimsical, kind of a Dennis Nordman layout, and I think the art will be great. There's no denying that. But I just hope they fully embrace how crazy the theme is, and they make something that just stands out, that they embrace, it's been a while since they made a game, stand out from the crowd, have a great time. Let's see what we get.
Sure.
So I don't know. I think it has full potential to be fun. There's no denying that. So American Pinball, JJP, there's rumored games coming out, and that rumored game is still Godfather. Yep. So what is it? Eric Minier with Godfather. That's still a big old question mark. I think it's a very interesting theme choice. I do think Eric Minier does make fun pins. JJP always goes all out with very complex code, a ton of lights, I don't know. My guess is if it is Godfather, they're going to make the best Godfather pin they can. I mean, it'll probably be fully invested in Godfather.
Will Godfather, if that is what it is, have hot rails?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Eric Minier patented hot rails. That's his thing. I'm pretty sure he's going to have hot rails in every one of his games from here on out. So we talked about this a little while ago, but I think it is funny that when we had gone down the rabbit trail of patents, pinball patents, and there's been a handful of them in the last few years. Like Insider Connected has a whole bunch of patents associated to it. But when it comes to patenting mechs, Keith Elwin has multiple patents. Like some of the stuff that he's made, the Magna Grab is patented, and then the Jeep on Jurassic Park is patented. Like props to you for like making mechs that are so unique that you can patent them.
Remember, there's been no innovation whatsoever in pinball recently. No innovation.
None. But
none.
Is that all? I mean, when it comes to JJP, Godfather, American
Multimorphic
GTF.
has been hinting at something new.
Well, they've said that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is it TPF is usually huge for them because they are there. It is a local a show for them. So they usually bring 6 or 7 games with a bunch of their different modules. But they did announce that Scott Danesi is the creative director of their next official module. So this will be a brand new module. I know Scott, I mean, I would hope he does all the light show because that's what he's known for. His light shows are incredibly good. And then I hope he does all the music in it. And I'm assuming he will. And so I love it. I loved everything that he's made. I'm a big fan. I've said it before. If somebody's going to get me into a P3, it's probably going to be Scott Danesi with what he brings to the table. I'll just be I just think this is a very creative and innovative platform that he's going to be able to run with. He did all the sound effects on Weird Al, so he's very familiar with the platform. He's obviously very familiar on how to build a game, but instead of having to build a full play field, he only has to design a third of it, right? They've talked about being able to add mechs in that upper section, and it'll be interesting maybe if this is one of the first games that does that. I don't really know, but it definitely I can't think of a person that I'd be more excited for to design the next play field. I mean,
they're trending the right direction too, because they got Danesi on board. I think they have Bowen and they have Colin McAlpine. So I mean, they're definitely trending the right direction. And
Johnny Crap on art. Yeah,
hopefully they can get a lot of these out there. I mean, the more that's out there and the more they can do with the platform, I mean, that's exciting. I mean, if we go back a year and a half ago when Tom and I just absolutely just grabbed the beehive and just shook it all hell, for now, the direction they're going, this is the direction I was hoping that they would go. And I'm genuinely interested after Weird Al to see what else that they're coming up with. And it seems like they're putting all the pieces to the puzzle together. The question really becomes, are they going to be able to manufacture all this at scale? Like that's the $1 million question with it. So hopefully they can get games out. And I'm excited to see what happens at TPF with that.
I haven't heard. No, I haven't been reading it as much, but I haven't heard. I mean, they're making Weird Al's. I know it's taken longer than they expected, but I haven't heard the big uproar. I mean, they're getting him out. They are getting him out, and I know
my friend Chris got his Weird Al. I don't think he got his other modules yet, but
he ordered a whole system, like the whole P3?
He ordered Weird Al, and then he got Heist and I think Lexi.
But did he already own the actual system?
No.
So he got the whole thing. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're doing it, but that's what'll be interesting is Because I just think it is a very unique platform in that sense. Because I'll tell you right now, like if I loved Scott's game and I decided I'm diving in on a P3, I'm not just buying P3 with Scott's game. I would buy Weird Al, and I'd probably buy Heist as well. Like that's the thing, is every new customer they have, they're buying more than just one game. They're probably buying. It's a cool model. It just, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited, and that'll be another game. So my prediction for TPF is there's going to be a lot of games that we're all going to want to play. There's going to be a lot of waiting in line. And there's just it's going to be quite a show. The hype is real. It's going to be
chaos.
Yes.
It's going to be chaos.
Yes.
Like a pure Royal Rumble of all pinball manufacturers. And that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time ever in this industry that this many games are being talked about to come out right around the same time. So it feels like the stars are truly aligning for just like an all-out battle to say, okay, here's what we have. Oh yeah, here's what we have. Oh yeah, here's what we're coming out with. And that's what I'm excited about, because I feel like healthy competition like that just drives the games to be better.
For sure. And I think it'll be interesting. We'll definitely have to do a recap show. All three of us will be there. And we'll have to do a recap show afterwards on like, well, which game stole the show? You know, like which game was the hype? You know, like, did you play this yet? Have you played Galactic Take Force yet?
Maybe we'll just have to do a show like actually on the show floor as we're doing it. Real-time thoughts with Tom.
We need more of those.
I'll just hold the mics.
Tripod Tom would have a whole nother meaning. He's just holding mics. Yeah. Well, I think that's about it. Unfortunately, I do need to wrap up because I got to go pick my kids up from school. But no, I think we kind of had a little lull. There was kind of a lull there in December and January, kind of what's going on, what's coming out, you know, with Bond, the review, the Cornerstone and the 60th. It's like, it's out, but it's not complete, or what's going on. It's just, but I think we're at an exciting time right now. There's a lot coming. There's a lot coming soon. And yeah, just there's a lot of streams we're all going to be watching, and then hopefully TPF will be an awesome opportunity for all of us to actually get hands on the games and play. So
speaking of streams, Ping Clash is going on. Are you doing Ping Clash, Joel?
I will be doing Pin Clash. I have not done one yet. It's sad to me, but I'm like, my goal is just to get to submit one. Like it's one ball. Like it is a challenge. And for some, you know, you guys can blow it up and get your 1,000,000 point whatever. But for me, it's just like my goal is to complete all 4 things and be able to cash out on one ball. Like I want to be able to do that.
Just get 50% of the way through it
and I beat the game. Beat the game. Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm not going to live that down.
So,
they're going to like,
oh no, it'll be
Joel beat the
t-shirts and all
game.
that.
Guys, I started one mode.
So before we go, we do have to talk about the Chat GPT thing. Joel. Yeah. So we posted up on our Facebook. we posted it up on our Facebook. But apparently Chat GPT, under certain conditions, knows who Tom is, knows who I am. And apparently it has no idea who Joel is. So somebody asked Chat GPT about who Joel is, and it said, and I quote, "I do not have any information on a person named Joel Engelberth. Can you please provide more context or details about who they are or what they're known for? This will help me provide you with more accurate information."
This is an AI website, right?
Yes, that's a very intelligent AI website. Well,
just for the people that don't know, so people typed in my name, and apparently it's a big question
for the
mark.
2 people out there that don't know what Chat GPT is.
But if you type in Travis or you type in Tom, it spits out a very detailed paragraph. Yes.
During certain prompts, because you do have to get it worked in such a way. But anyway, so we let the listeners provide us with context that we can provide Chat GPT with. So that way we know. So, people, do you want to read it, Joel, or do you want me to read it?
I don't have it pulled up. Go for it.
Okay.
Read away.
Of course he hasn't pulled up. Okay. Who is Joel Engelberth?
Starting strong. Yep.
It says, Even robots know Joel sucks.
Oh,
That's my favorite one. It doesn't really add anything to it, but that's a timeless classic.
Yeah.
And then, so Cause says Joel is well known for having the best beard in pinball.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
To be fair, he has the best beard of all of his friends and family.
I disagree.
Who has the best beard?
Keith Elwin.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
I
this is wholesome too.
Yeah.
All right, so Ed says Joel Engelberth is known for being Anyong. I think he meant annoying, but he left off.
No.
Is it Anyong?
Anyong is
What's Anyong?
It's an
Tell me what
Arrested
that is.
Development.
Okay, what is that?
The GIF that I posted is from Buster from Arrested Development. There's a character named Anyong, which actually means hello. So Anyong. So it's an inside joke that you don't get. So
you're known for inside jokes.
No,
Got
it's
it.
because he's
There's
responding to the one GIF I posted.
This is my segment, Joel. Moving on. All right. And Matt has said Joel Engelberth is a pinball enthusiast and host of Just Another Pinball Podcast and co-host of the Triple Drain Pinball Podcast. Okay, it's starting out good here.
Yeah.
It's starting out fine. Joel is far from a competitive tournament player and enjoys playing single level games in his basement with friends and family. It's getting better.
I think it's pretty accurate, yeah.
He has a passion for looking emo in promotional photos and talking about all his buddies in the pinball design community.
Yeah. It starts, I think the AI is it's keen on facts, and I think there were some things in there that were not as factual as others, but not
you don't
bad.
have an emo photo?
I have one photo from college that I regret, and Zach dove deep and pulled it out, and now the world just is eating it up. They're loving it. Yeah. Well, thank
what
you.
a great segment.
Thank you, Neil,
thanks so much
for Neil McRae brought that to our attention. So thank you, Neil. Appreciate that. And
we better get to the Tom Talks thing. I mean, we got to get you to your kids.
I know. I gotta go. That's we don't have.
We'll save it for next time.
Yes.
All right,
and
save it for next time.
I'm not trying to belittle, but I know District 82 had a huge tournament, and I know multi-day tournament. So sorry, Tom, that we didn't dive into
I'm
that.
sorry. Nobody likes competitive.
we were
streaming.
told. We were told that.
We were told that.
Yeah, just stick to pinball. Yeah. But no, I will say, Tom, that was
300 to 400 viewers disagree.
Yes, no, that was well done, incredibly well done, and well liked. And
we'll talk about it on the next podcast. We met a few people that listen to the podcast, so shout out to them as well. We appreciate everybody.
All right, well, we'll wrap her up then. Travis, plug away.
You can find me on this podcast. Tom, to you, buddy.
Here in Fox City's Pinball. Joel?
Yes. Flipping Out. Check us out on Wednesday nights. Flipping Out on YouTube. Check it out. We alternate between Flipping Out with Friends, which is a chatting stream, and then actually playing pinball. So hopefully, like I said, soon I'll be either streaming Bond 60th or Scooby Doo. Should be a good time. And then, Triple Drain. Yeah. Check out our stuff, Soberall Swag. Thanks again for the intro video, Brad. Check out his stuff. And
Joel, we could do a head-to-head stream on Bond 60th.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
That would actually get a lot of attention.
That would be
I want that
cool.
right now. So Bond 60th, head-to-head stream. You guys heard it here first. Tom Graf versus Joel.
Well, we'll have to see if it
No,
actually
I was
works
going to
out.
have Neil face him.
Oh, yeah. Not needed.
Oh, man.
All right. Well,
Joel's
like
going to
always.
have to put rubber bands on those outlanes to survive.
No, what I'll do is I'll play a 4-player co-op game versus one of their single games, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, but okay.
That'd be
Well,
kinda
Tom, like always, you get the last words.
Bye.